Welcome back. It is a Mission Monday, and today we are honoring the 150-year-old mission of the Salvation Army by providing you with information about wonderful free programs available in your community. The Oak Creek Corps offers many enriching programs for kids and adults, including weekly Sunday worship, Sunday school, Bible study groups, sports, summer day camp, and a whole lot more. Major Dan Jennings is the divisional commander with the Salvation Army, and we are also joined by Major Cornell Voller with the Oak Creek Corps. It's great to see both of you guys this morning. Thank you so much. And I think, you know, Major Dan, we've talked many times about the mission of the Salvation Army and all the things you do, from working with veterans and disaster relief and housing and work for the homeless. And maybe this is something that a lot of people aren't as familiar with.
Yeah, you know, we really have a public face of the service that we do to the community. So a lot of people are familiar with the thrift stores, are familiar with the homeless services that we provide. But all of that gets started because of our love for Jesus Christ. So because we're a church, because we feel that God's called us into service, we do those things that are very public. But we thought today it'd be important to talk about what motivates us. And we're motivated by our religious beliefs. We're motivated by the love of Christ to love other people. And that's what causes us to go out into the community and do those things that are service. But sometimes we just see the end result. We don't see what motivates us to do those things. Yeah,
and this faith basis, I think, is key, is the core of what you do. And included in that are worship services, Sunday school, you have a brass band and a praise band and adult choirs, children's choirs, and the list goes on and on.
It sure does, yeah. We have a full range of church programs and activities at our location, and we certainly welcome anyone to come and be part of what we have going on.
It's wonderful for both kids and adults, including things during the week,
right,
like Bible studies, for example.
Yeah, Wednesday night is kind of our main activity night, where we have a lot of that music instruction and youth programs, and we have about 8 different Bible studies that happen throughout the week for people.
That's fun. We have, I know some of the pictures we were showing earlier were Halloween pictures, so it's this wonderful mix of faith, education too, because I know you do, you have kindergarten classes that meet, and as well as preschool, but then there's also fun things for the kids to do.
Oh yeah, we have a great time with all of our youth activities. We do a summer day camp where as soon as the school year ends, kids can come to the Salvation Army every day throughout the summer and be part of things. And we continue that with this throughout the school year too, with our after-school sports programs and sports leagues that we have.
Yeah, I saw on Facebook, I think it was basketball after-school camp, but you also, soccer is big.
Yeah, soccer is our biggest program. Basketball will start right now in just a couple weeks, but in the spring we'll do soccer and have about 250 kids in the Oak Creek area who participate in that program.
So that's the other thing I was going to ask you, is your service area. So your location is Oak Creek.
Our location is Oak Creek, and we just kind of service the whole southern end of Milwaukee County.
That is wonderful, and people who are listening can donate, which obviously helps provide or helps you provide all the wonderful services that you do. But can people also get involved in some of your programs if they live in your community?
Well, they sure can. I mean, there's so many ways to be involved in the Salvation Army, whether it's if you have children and participating in activity, or coming to church, or volunteering. We have a food pantry and all kinds of things that people can volunteer and be part of at Salvation Army.
The Oak Creek Corps is something that's slightly newer to the Salvation Army, but certainly fits in well with your core mission and all the wonderful services that you provide.
In Milwaukee County, the Oak Creek Corps is kind of our baby. It's our newest one. Now, saying that's 25 years old, but we've been in Milwaukee County about 125 years and been in the world about 150 years. And what's interesting is that the Salvation Army officers, those of us who wear the uniforms with the red trim, we're ordained clergy, and we're assigned at different places to provide service. So as Cornell is the officer, that would be similar to what we call a pastor. He actually is my pastor. That's the congregation which I belong to, and it is a great service. I recommend it to anybody. It's a good way to be encouraged in your faith, to grow, to have spiritual development, and just get involved with other people who are on that faith journey as well.
Well, I think it's interesting when you mentioned as uniformed officers. I think very often people see you and they associate it with the military, and not as much as an ordained member of the clergy.
Right, they don't trust us with guns, so they give us a Bible and send us out to do service. But it is, from the very beginning, it was a very militant type organization. But our war is not against people, our war is against sin.
It's wonderful to all of the people who are served in the name of the Salvation Army. I mean, I talked about veterans, the elderly. We talk about, you know, assistance for people who are homeless, so people who are marginalized, as well as children having fun and being educated, all in the name of the Salvation Army. I think a lot of people aren't familiar with how broad-reaching your services and your mission is.
And it's what it is people will interact with the Salvation Army wherever that point of need is. And so they may only know us as a veterans group. They may only know us as a thrift store. They may only know us as a drug and alcohol treatment center. But wherever they come in, that's their connection. But we're hoping people also realize that we are the local church on the corner as well. It's a place to come and be encouraged in your faith. And it really is one of those hidden things because we don't promote it a lot. We don't spend a lot of money on advertising it. But a lot of the people you see providing service have some sort of connection to that congregation. So we have a lot of congregation members who volunteer and serve on the front lines as Salvation Army volunteers. Including
disaster relief, and I learned from you too, sometimes you can mobilize in as little as an hour, which is incredible. The work that the Salvation Army is doing here in our community, it touches every part of life. You can help them fulfill their mission with their services by making a donation. The website is samilwaukee.org. You can click on Mission Mondays. You can also call this phone number to learn more. It's 414-302-4300, extension 2228. Great to see both of you, gentlemen. Thank you so much. And we'll be right back.